How you going, people? I want to talk about towing vehicles here quickly. I don't know if my timer stopped or if it's working. Did I stop it? Oh shit, it's still running. Alright, so I'm doing a lot of videos with this hat, so you'll realize what videos I did on this date, because I'm just doing them in a row here. Towing vehicles. Why do cops tow vehicles? How do you stop your car from getting towed? How can you get your car towed, etc.? So I just kind of want to cover a little bit on towing vehicles. So towing a vehicle, cops can tow vehicles for several reasons. We can tow it for evidence. If we think it's involved in crime, if we think it has paint, if we think it has blood, if we think it has a gun shell, gun residue, if I think this vehicle is involved in a crime and I need to get it to a secure area so we can go over it, search it, preserve evidence, take pictures, and develop my case, I can tow that vehicle per whatever the evidence section for towing. I can tow a vehicle for storage. If I get there and a car's in the middle of the road, it broke down, the guy says, hey man, I don't have any money, etc., and a tow truck won't come, can you tow my vehicle and maybe have a tow? I can tow it by citizen request and have a tow company come and take it. And then I put in there it was per request for storage or safety. I can remove it for a safety hazard, which is in the road. I can remove it if it's abandoned and I ticketed it a day or so before and it hasn't been moved. If it's illegally parked, it has so many parking tickets. I mean, normally they don't tow for an illegally parked vehicle. Managers of restaurants or bars, if they say no parking during this time and a car's there, then they can have the vehicle towed at the owner's request saying, hey, this car ain't belong here, we want it removed. Then we'll tow it for that reason. We can tow it pursuant to an arrest. If I stop you or contact you and you're in your car and I take you to jail for some reason, then I can tow your car incident to arrest, and I can also search it. So there's a lot of reasons to get your car towed. Now towing, on who tows it, is depending on the agency. I was just talking to, I don't know if I want to say his name, I'll get him a lot of shit. If he wants to identify his name, I'll just call him Jay. If he wants to identify in the comments, he can. And he tells me, in the agencies I worked with, there's called a rotation of tow companies. So when I stop a car and I have a tow, I just tell dispatch, I think it's 1185, 1195, 1195 maybe, I can't remember the code. But whatever our code was for a tow, and dispatch calls the next person on rotation. So the government, in their big control way, wanting control and money, they make tow companies certify with them, promise and sign that they have this much insurance, that they will keep the car, that they will respond no longer than 15 minutes when called, that they're working 24 hours. Whatever the requirements is of the government for this agency to get on the list, the tow companies will make sure it happens, otherwise they don't get on the list. And there's big money, because who tows more than anybody? The cops. So they go through a rotation. So when I call for a tow, the dispatcher looks on the rotation and go, let's see, Bob's towing was called next, so now I'm going to call Cliff's towing because they're next on the rotation. And then we'll work our way down the rotation. At the end of the night, we may be back to Bob. On a busy night, sometimes I've had the same damn tow company come and throw 3 different cars. So, I mean, it depends on the night and how busy everyone else is and how much they're towing and whether they're tied up. So, this guy Jay tells me in his county in Texas, when they call for a tow, every tow company monitors and races to the scene, and when they all get there, they each put a chip with their tow company name on it and a hat and pull a number out, and the person that gets pulled out gets to tow the car. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. If some other agency does that, please let me know in the comments, because that's the craziest damn thing ever. You talk about liability and getting people rushing to a crime scene. You got 14 different tow trucks racing to an accident so they can get the tow because they're trying to make a living. I mean, that agency is just open for a lawsuit. Hopefully there's a lawyer out there that says, hey, you know, in the last 5 years there's been 14 tow accidents because the PD's called for them and these guys are driving like crazy. And guess what? Cops normally don't stop or mess with tow trucks. Well, why, Rick? They're citizens and they have to pay, because cops don't want to be waiting when they call them. So they don't care if they speed, they don't care if they break the law, they don't care how they get there as long as they get there fast. As a matter of fact, if they get there slow, the cops will complain and they can be taken off the rotation. So they don't want to lose the business. So when cops call for tow companies and you see tow companies driving like maniacs, that's because they want the money and government has given them a pass. Basically, they work for government, so they're one of the chosen few and the rules don't apply to them. So that's how tow companies work. When your car is towed, Normally what happens is a cop, I have to walk around, I have to do an inventory, I have to make sure there's not $1,000 in the glove box or 14 guns under the seat or a bag of dope in the trunk. So I'll walk through, I'll search, and I'll make little notes on my tow sheet. There's a jack in the back, there's a spare tire. What condition is the spare tire? Flat, good condition, bad condition. Cops always put poor or average. That way the guy can't complain if it's trashed. So even if it's brand new, most cops will just put poor, average. They'll never put brand new, because then the guy, when he gets his car, hey, this tire has a mark on it, it was brand new, and the cop wrote right here in the thing it was new, and now look at it, it's not new. You owe me $500. And then it's like, dude, why'd you put new on the towers? So, yeah, cops, if you want to call it lying, they just take the neutral way. They don't want to over-exaggerate good or bad, so they normally take the middle on most things. And then I have to walk around the car and put any scratches, denting, broken tail lights. I mark that because when a guy gets the car back and goes, hey, these guys broke my tail lights out. And then it's like, hey, if you look at the tow receipt, the cop marked that both tail lights are broken. So he can't go after the tow company, and normally they'll go after the tow company and pick it up and go, hey, these lights weren't broken. And then I'll have a copy of the tow sheet, and they say, well, the officer says they were broken when they picked it up, so it's not us, talk to them. So they'll send them to us. And we'll go, you know what, we put it on there. If there's any other damage, talk to the tow company, not us. So, I mean, I'm just telling you reality. You may not like it, but it's kind of screwed. And then, of course, the way big government is, they figured out that when we tow cars, the tow company's the only one making money. And we're only making money because we get to tax them and maybe give them tickets or put requirements on them, but we're not making enough money. So some brilliant flunky government freaking I want more money came up with the idea, why don't we make people that we tow come to the PD, we'll tell the tow company they can't release the car unless they have a release from us. Hey, that's a great idea. And then we'll charge people when they come to the PD to get the release. So in California, most agencies, when you get your car code, when you get your car towed, you can't even get your car out till you go to the PD, pay them your ransom of $50 tax, extortion, just to get a release, so you can go to the tow company and pay them $275 because they had to jack their prices because they had to hire more workers in newer trucks, and they have to be able to, because the government put all the requirements on them. So now to get your damn car towed, it costs $300 plus $50 to the PD. So look, having your car towed is a bad thing. Most cops, if you're cool, that's where the guys will be like, well, you should have to be cool. It's your right not to get your car. Why are you at? Well, I'm just telling you the way it is, people. All right? I don't make up these rules. I'm just living within them. I'm telling you. If you're decent to the cops have the discretion to not tow your car on some situations. So if you're nice and you say, hey, can you move my car and just park it right there illegally and I'll have my wife come get it. I'll have somebody come get it. I'll come get it tomorrow. Most cops will say no problem. Some cops, if you're an asshole, will say, it's against policy, I can't drive your car. And a lot of agencies have policy, they don't want us driving other people's car because then if it's damaged, you hit a curb, a tire goes flat, the engine blows up when you're in it, then the county or city's responsible, so they say don't drive other people's cars. But most cops will be like, whatever, I moved 100 cars to the side of the road, I'm not trying to screw somebody any worse than I have to. If they're decent, I'm not helping the government make more money and steal from them. I'll park their damn car. So if you're decent, a cop will park your car, not tow it, will let you call somebody, etc. Maybe let somebody in a car that's a passenger that hasn't been an asshole videotaping saying, you fucking cops, I'm putting you on YouTube, you motherfuckers, and my... Okay, and now when you're going to jail and you find out your car's in the code and it's going to cost you $400 to get it out, you're like, hey officer, can you let my friend take my car? Not no, but hell no. Get in the car and shut up. You get out of here, you're going to jail. So, it all depends on the attitude. Is that right or wrong? Hey, I'm just telling you the way it is. Okay? I don't make the rules, I'm just telling you. You can get pissed off at the messenger all you want. So, that's how car towing works. Good, bad, and different. Can you get out of some towings? Yeah. It has a lot to do with attitude, it has a lot to do with the cop. If it's a young cop, if it's a cop that's been around for a while, he don't really care about bullshit policy, so he's more willing to do it. A young cop that just got out of the academy is going to be, I don't want to get in trouble, I'm on probation, I could get fired if I violate the rules, so I can't help you. So you're going to have less chance with a younger cop. I always think you have a better chance talking to the oldest cop on scene. If you talk to the oldest cop with the grayest whiskers on scene, your odds of being reasonable and getting help is much greater than dealing with the young guy right out of the academy that's walking around like, sir, Please stand back and don't approach me. Officer safety, I don't want you too close or I'll have to arrest you for whatever. Alright, that's towing 101 for cops. If I didn't cover something and you want to know, put it in the comments, I'll try to answer it. We'll end it there.